What's up, everybody? So today, I have a new original story for you, all about the Cthulhu Mythos. I hope you guys enjoy it. So let's go ahead and jump right in.
Vienna, 1887. A miasmic fog choked the city's cobblestone alleys, mingling with the hiss of steam trams and the clatter of iron-shod hooves. In a dimly lit apothecary near the Danube, Dr. Iselda, Bach musician, alchemist,
And plague scholar adjusted the lenses of her etheric respirator, steampunk contraption of brass and leather designed to filter spectral toxins. Her gloved hands trembled as she examined a relic, a blackened bronze amulet, surface etched with tentacle-like glyphs that seemed to writhe under the gaslight. Isolde ran a gloved hand over the trinket. Unearthed from a plague pit sealed since the Black Death of 1348, it emanated a faint pulse, as if alive. A journal filled with ciphered notes called it the Plague Oracle, rumored to channel the will of an ancient entity. As she traced its sigils, a cold whisper slithered through her respirator. Fen Louis Miglanov Cthulhu relied Wanagolf Dan. Her heart stuttered. The respirator's recorder wax cylinder embedded in its frame spun unbidden, capturing a low, sibilant hiss. Last night's dream flooded back. A sunken city of cyclopean spires in a black ocean, where a vast green eye gazed through her, its voice fracturing her thoughts. The recorder had hummed faintly post-dream, unnoticed until now. And in the apothecary's corner, a mechanical raven, its iron beak sharp, its emerald lenses glowing, stirred. A sentinel of the Order of the Veiled Pestilence, a clandestine sect of plague doctors who guarded Vienna against otherworldly plagues. Isolde's research had hinted at their reach. Hidden lazarettos from Prague to Venice, using steam and alchemy to bind horrors older than time. Then at midnight, a letter slipped under her door, sealed with a wax sigil of a beaked mask. Seal the oracle, speak not its name. The abyss hungers, a respirator buzzed, its needles twitching toward an unseen frequency. Dread and forbidden curiosity drove Isolde to a derelict hospice in the city's outskirts. Its iron gates, rusted and entwined with ivy, groaned under the fog. Inside, stained glass windows depicted plague doctors wielding syringes and cogs, their beaks etched with tentacle motifs. Below the altar, a steam-powered reliquary thrummed gears and pipes pulsing with sonic energy. A seal crafted by the Order to cage the Black Death's true source. Brother Elias, clad in a plague doctor's cloak of oiled leather and brass, emerged from the shadows. His beaked mask gleamed, a pendant of coiling tendrils at his chest. "We are the veiled pestilence," he intoned, voice muffled, yet resonant. In 1348, the Black Death was no mere plague, it was Cthulhu's breath, seeping through Rilius cracks. This oracle is its key. Isolde gripped the amulet, its warmth seeping through her gloves. "Why entrust it to me?" asked, voice sharp, despite the whispers in her skull. "It seeks its bearers," Elias replied. "Our lazarettos hold the veil, but you've seen our lie. Claims you now." A dark thrill stirred within her. Fear. The amulet's glyphs flared faintly. They hurried through a steamworks beneath the hospice, its furnaces roaring like fevered lungs. Pipes screamed as Elias chanted a Latin dirge woven with resonant frequencies to reinforce dimensional seals. The amulet glowed green, its gears spinning wildly. Isolde's lips moved, unbidden. Ick, ick. It wasn't her voice. The glyphs pulsed like infected veins, clawing at her mind with visions of Arlea spires. "Submit," they urged. Her thoughts frayed, drowning in a black sea of pestilent mist. She thought, defiance surging. "I am no vessel." She slammed the amulet into a pressure valve, steam erupting in a scalding shroud. The glow flickered.
Ow!
Then the floor cracked. Air twisted, sucked into a void. A chasm yawned, revealing a single monstrous eye, green, unblinking, radiating plague-ridden malice. Stoda's breath seized, limbs frozen as its gaze burned through her, her thoughts dissolving into visions of rotting cities. Tendrils of shadow writhed in the steam, hissing Cthulhu Fatan. She saw only darkness, a pestilent ocean swallowing her. The raven sentinel lunged, its talons piercing her wrist. Her respirator's lenses cracked, its recorder jamming. Elise's chant rose, desperate. Ick. Cthulhu. Roulette. Guanagol, Fatan, Que, he gasped. A right to bind the sleeper, lest its plague wakes. Steam thickened, choking the air. The chasm sealed. The eye vanished. Silence fell, heavy as a coffin. Isolde awoke in a steam-lit lazaretto, its walls lined with hissing pipes and alchemical vials. Her body ached, her mind a fog of fractured horrors. The eye, the whispers, the plague. Her respirator dented, lay beside her. Elias handed her a wax cylinder, etched with sigils. "The veil holds," he whispered, "but this recorded you." The cylinder hissed, then her voice fractured, alien emerged. "Ick, ick." She froze. The respirator's gears ticked faintly, trembling. Each hiss vibrated through her bones, pulling her mind to the black ocean's gaze. Fear clashed with an insatiable urge to know more. Isolde stood, unsteady, drawn to the abyss. The lazaretto's iron door creaked open. Fog curled within, thick with the stench of decay, whispering like a plague. Beyond, something ancient stirred, patient, pestilent, inevitable. She stepped forward, the cylinder's hiss echoing. Each pulse binds me to Relia's breath, a lullaby from drowned gods, a symphony of madness and miasma. The fog swallowed her, and the hospice fell silent. So I hope you guys enjoyed that story. That was the Plague Oracle. If you guys did enjoy it, please hit that like button. Also, let me know what you guys thought of the story down below in the comments. Did you like it? What was your favorite part? Also, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Do you ever wonder what secrets lie hidden beneath the waves? What ancient evils stir in the darkest depths of the ocean? Or maybe you're wondering how you can get your very own lovingly crafted, intricately detailed action figure based on one of the most iconic villains in all of fiction history? Well, if you answered yes to any of those questions, then boy do I have the perfect story for you. This is the Siren's Gear, a Cthulhu Mythos story from our first ever subscriber. This is Trieste, 1895. The port city-esque fog-drenched docks shuddered with the clank of steam cranes and the groan of iron-hulled ships. In a warehouse overlooking the Adriatic, Captain Livia Marone, navigator, engineer, and relic hunter, calibrated her etheric sonar, a steampunk device of brass and crystal designed to detect abyssal frequencies. Its needles twitched as she examined a relic, a barnacle-crusted gear etched with fish-like glyphs that pulsed faintly under the oil lamps, as she found it 3 days ago, dredged up from the hold of a sunken galleon off the Dalmatian coast. In her logbook, scrawled with encrypted notes, dubbed it the Siren's Gear, tying it to the cult of the Abyssal Choir, a secretive order rumored to commune with seaborne gods. As she turned its cogs, a sibilant whisper pierced her mind. Dagon. Her breath caught. Sonar's recorder phonograph cylinder spun, unbidden, capturing a low, watery gurgle. Last night's dream surged back. A submerged city of coral-encrusted spires in a black abyss, where fish-eyed deep ones sang to a colossal shadow Dagon. The recorder had hummed faintly post-dream, unnoticed until now. She needed answers, but who in Trieste knew the cult's dark secrets? The warehouse door creaked open, admitting a slithering shape, mechanical eel, its copper scales glinting, its sapphire eyes glowing, slid across the floor. Its barbed tail twitched, marking it as a sentinel of the cult. Her research hinted at their reach. Hidden grottos from Lisbon to Constantinople, using steam and chance to appease or bind oceanic horrors. At dusk, a note slipped under the warehouse door, sealed with a wax sigil of a fish with human eyes. Lock the gear. Silence its song. The deep calls. Her sonar buzzed, its crystal flaring with an unseen signal. Fear warred with morbid fascination. Was the gear broadcasting distress or summoning aid? It was too dangerous to keep here. She had to move it, but where? Her gaze drifted to the derelict lighthouse on Trieste's cliffs. Its iron spire loomed through the fog, steam pipes hissing along its base. Steam-powered beacons were rare. This one must be important. But why? Had the Abyssal Choir claimed it too? With the cylinder in her belt, she slipped out into the fog, the gear tucked under her coat. When she reached the lighthouse, she found the door open, revealing a spiral staircase shrouded in mist. As she climbed, Stained glass windows depicting sirens entwined with gears flashed past her. Silent song. The gear in her arms thrummed faintly, as if beckoning. At the top she gasped. Below the beacon, an altar thrummed with power. Cogs and pistons pulsed with sonic energy, resonating with the gear. She recognized the seal, a barrier to contain extra-dimensional energies. Someone had bound abyssal frequencies here. That someone was the cult, she realized. They used the lighthouse to cage something, or someone, something powerful. And suddenly, she wasn't alone. "Welcome, seeker of forbidden lore," a voice echoed, and a woman emerged from the mist. Her hooded robe was heavy with brass scales, a pendant of coiling fins at her throat. "I am Sister Marina, servant of the Abyssal Choir." "We are the Abyssal Choir," she intoned, voice like waves on shale. "In 1453, when Constantinople fell, Dagon's deep ones stirred, seeking shore. This gear is their key." Livia gripped the relic, its warmth seeping through her gloves. "Why me?" she asked, voice steady, despite the whispers in her skull. "It sings to those it chooses," Marina replied. "Our grottos hold the veil, but you've heard Liasim. Dagon knows you now." A forbidden thrill pulsed through Livia's fear, the gear's glyphs flaring faintly. They descended to a steamworks beneath the lighthouse, its boilers roaring like a sea beast's heart. Marina placed her hands on the altar, chanting in a language that tasted of salt and blood. The gear glowed green, its cogs spinning wildly, matching the rhythmic pulse of the pistons below.
At!
"Let the deep rise," Marina cried, and drown the world in Dagon's light. The room shook and a fissure split the floor, revealing a swirling vortex of green light and frothing water. From its depths rose a vast, fish-like eye regarding her with cold, alien intelligence. It regarded her with cold, alien intelligence. Malice radiated from it, reeking of death and madness. Livia staggered back, her sonar clattering to the floor. Its crystal flared, bathing her face in sickly green light. Through the eye, she glimpsed a vast, shadowy form stirring in the abyss. Dagon. Her mind screamed in terror, but another voice cut through. "Marina is stronger than the rest. Rise, O deep ones, from your coral graves," she chanted, "and claim the world that is your birthright. Awaken, Father Dagon, and devour the sun." The air crackled, and tendrils of shadow lashed out from the rift, coiling around her legs. Cold, slimy, they dragged her toward the chasm. They pulled her down, down into the blackest depths, where a chorus of gurgling voices welcomed her. "Welcome, daughter of the deep," they crooned. "Come, join us in the endless night." Their eyes, wide and fish-like, gleamed with an otherworldly hunger. She could feel their minds probing, seeking to rip her sanity apart. She had to escape. With a surge of adrenaline, she kicked out, catching Marina off guard. The sister stumbled, falling onto the gear, which whirred beneath her, which cried out as its teeth caught her robes. Livia seized the chance, scrambling away. The eye blazed, filling her mind with a deafening roar. She shielded her ears, staggering back. She saw only the abyss, a coral graveyard pulling her under. As she collapsed, the lighthouse groaned. The walls buckled, and the sea roared triumphantly. Suddenly, the eel lunged, its barbed tail flashing, pierced her ankle, and she screamed. The lighthouse shuddered, its beacon flared, bathing the chasm in white light. Marina lurched up, eyes wide with alarm. "The siphon fails," she cried, clutching her chest. "The gate will seal. I must buy more time." With a flick of her wrist, she hurled the gear into the gaping maw of the lighthouse's steam valve. "May the Father forgive us," she whispered, as the last of the deep ones dragged her into the vortex. Steam erupted in a scalding roar, engulfing her. Pain seared through her flesh, but something else filled her too, a terrifying sense of calm. She looked down to see the gear glowing brightly, its glyphs spinning wildly. She remembered the song now, the one she couldn't stop humming. Dagon. The last thing she saw before everything went black was the eye, widening in surprise. Then the sea roared. The floor split open, revealing a vast, empty abyss. The eye vanished, leaving only churning water and a growing silence. As the lighthouse fell still, the sea surged forward, eager to reclaim what was hers. She awoke in a steam-lit grotto, its walls crusted with barnacles and hissing pipes. Her body ached, her mind a fog of fractured horrors. Deep ones, siren songs, Dagon's gaze. Her sonar, dented, lay beside her. Marina sat nearby, cradling her head in her hands. "You survived," she breathed, relief flooding her face. The gate held. "For now, you are safe here." She handed Livia a phonograph cylinder, etched with fish-like sigils. "The veil holds," she whispered. "But this captured you." The cylinder hissed, then her voice fractured, aquatic emerged. "Ick. Ick." Fear froze her. The sonar's gears ticked faintly, trembling. Each hiss vibrated through her bones, pulling her mind to the black tide's song. Her thoughts echoed the deep ones, their alien hunger resonating in her skull. Fear warred with an insatiable urge to dive deeper, to embrace the abyss. As Livia swayed, drawn to the edge of the grotto, Marina spoke again. "Are you with us now, daughter of the deep?" she asked, eyes shining with unsettling joy. "Will you help us usher in the age of Dagon?" Looking back at the familiar comforts of land, she struggled to speak. Each word tasted of salt and blood. "Ick, ick, Dagon," she rasped, stepping forward. "I am the deep one. Hear my hymn." The waves swallowed her shadow and the lighthouse fell silent. Once again, thank you so much for watching. And now for our final bedtime story, The Devil's Cog. Where the last rays of sun bled into the smag-choked streets of Manchester in 1892, the Devil's Cog turned. In a cavernous workshop near the Irwell River, Dr. Theo Ramsey, machinist, occultist, and disgraced engineer, tuned his etheric oscilloscope, a steampunk apparatus of brass valves and glowing coils designed to detect extra-dimensional vibrations. His scarred hands steadied a relic, a blackened cog, its teeth etched with tentacle-like runes that pulsed under the flicker of arc lamps. The cog, salvaged from a collapsed mill rumored to house devil-worshipping machinists, thrummed with unnatural heat. Theo's encrypted ledger named it the Devil's Cog, linked to the Order of the Iron Veil, a technocratic sect that fused steam and sorcery to commune with entities beyond the stars. As he aligned its runes, a guttural whisper clawed through his mind. PH and Gluey, MGLW, Naf Cthulhu, Arlia, Gu, Nagelfedden, Ta. His pulse quickened. The oscilloscope sparked, its phonograph cylinder spinning unbidden, capturing a metallic screech. Last night's dream flooded back. A sunken city of rusted spires in a black abyss, where a Cthulhumech grotesque machine of tentacles and gears stared with a single molten eye. The cylinder had hummed faintly post-dream, unnoticed until now. In the workshop's shadows, a mechanical scarabit's iron carapace clicking, its ruby lenses glowing scuttled across a beam. Its barbed legs twitched, marking it as a sentinel of the Order. Theo's notes spoke of their network, hidden foundries from Berlin to Turin, forging steam-driven seals to bind cosmic horrors. At midnight, a letter slid under the door, sealed with a wax sigil of a gear entwined with horns. Bind the cog. Speak not its will. The devil stirs. The oscilloscope buzzed, its coils flaring with an unseen pulse. Hope you all loved that last story, The Devil's Cog. If you did, smash that like button. I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What did you think? What was your favorite part? If you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe. In our increasingly chaotic world, it can be hard to find moments of peace and quiet. If you're looking for a way to relax and unwind, look no further than our new mobile app. With guided meditations led by soothing voices, you'll find yourself drifting to a peaceful place in no time. Say whether you need to de-stress after a long day or prepare for restful sleep, we have the perfect meditation for you. And if you prefer, you can simply listen to the sounds of nature while you meditate. It's the perfect way to find your inner peace. So why wait? Download our app today and start your journey towards a more peaceful you. And now, without further ado, let's begin. Manchester, 1892. The industrial city groaned under a pall of coal smoke, its skyline pierced by chimneys belching steam and ash in a cavernous workshop near the Irwell River. Dr. Theo Ramsey, machinist, occultist, and disgraced engineer, tuned his etheric oscilloscope, a steampunk apparatus of brass valves and glowing coils designed to detect extra-dimensional vibrations. His scarred hands steadied a relic, a blackened cog, its teeth etched with tentacle-like runes that pulsed under the flicker of arc lamps. Theo had salvaged it from a collapsed mill, rumored to have housed devil-worshipping machinists, members of a clandestine cult known as the Order of the Iron Veil. They sought to fuse steam and sorcery to commune with entities beyond the stars. According to his encrypted ledger, this one was known only as the Devil's Cog. Its discovery coincided with a disturbing resurgence in the occult, surge that culminated in blasphemous rituals and the summoning of cosmic horrors. As he aligned its runes, a guttural whisper clawed through his mind. PH, Inglui MGLW, Naf Cthulhu, Arlia, JOG Noggle Fatan. Suddenly, his pulse quickened. He scrambled back as the oscilloscope sparked, its phonograph cylinder spinning unbidden. Last night's dream flooded back, a sunken city of rusted spires in a black abyss, where a Cthulhumech grotesque machine of tentacles and gears stared with a single molten eye. He leaned closer, the cog thrumming with unnatural heat. Was this its doing? Here at its extra-dimensional master stirred? The cylinder had hummed faintly all morning, unnoticed until now. Could its message be deciphered? What did it mean for him, for Manchester, for all of reality? Then a scratching sound, like claws on metal, drew his attention to the workshop's shadows. A mechanical scarabit's iron carapace clicking, its ruby lenses glowing scuttled across a beam. Its barbed legs twitched, marking it as a sentinel of the Order. Such creatures weren't merely clockwork automata. They were animated by infernal energies, hunting, guarding, killing. Theo's notes spoke of their network. Hidden foundries from Berlin to Turin, forging steam-driven seals to bind cosmic horrors. These machinists had sought to weaponize the Old One's power, twisting technology and magic into tools of chaos and destruction, but they had been stopped, or so he had believed. At midnight, a letter slid under the door, sealed with a wax sigil of a gear entwined with horns. Bind the cog, speak not its will. The devil stirs. The oscilloscope buzzed, its coils flaring with an unseen pulse. Should he destroy the relic? Was that what the note meant? Or did it warn of something else? Dread and reckless curiosity drove him to a derelict foundry on Manchester's outskirts. Its iron smokestacks loomed through the smog, steam pipes hissing like serpents. Inside, stained glass panels depicted machinists kneeling to a tentacled machine, its cogs etched with devilish runes. Below, the forge rumbled, a massive reliquary thrummed. Gears and pistons pulsed with sonic energy, a seal crafted to cage Cthulhu's mechanized will. As he descended the stairs, a censer burner flared, releasing a plume of acrid smoke. From the gloom emerged Brother Gideon, his robes studded with brass rivets, a pendant of coiling tentacles at his chest. "We are the Iron Veil," he intoned, voice like grinding gears. In 1837, when the mills burned, Cthulhu's Cthulhumech stirred, its devilish machinery threatening to rise. This cog is its heart. Theo gripped the relic, its heat searing through his gloves. "Why me?" "Oh, boy steady, despite the whispers in his skull. You seek knowledge of the Order, the means to bind the Devil's Forge." "It seeks its smiths," Gideon replied, eyes gleaming with fanatic light. "Our foundries hold the veil, but you've seen Relia's forge. The devil knows you now." Dark thrills surged through Theo's fear. The cog's runes flared faintly. They descended to a steamworks beneath the foundry, its boilers roaring like infernal engines. Pipes screamed as Gideon chanted a mechanized hymn laced with resonant frequencies to seal dimensional rifts. The cog glowed green, its teeth spinning wildly. Theo's lips moved unbidden. "Ik, Cthulhu." It wasn't his voice. The runes pulsed like molten veins, clawing at his mind with visions of a Cthulhumech tentacles of steel, gears grinding with alien hunger. "Forge me," it urged. His thoughts frayed, drowning in a black furnace of oil and ash. "No," he thought, defiance flaring. "I won't craft its will." He slammed the cog into a pressure valve, steam erupting in a scalding roar. The glow flickered, then the floor split. Air twisted, sucked into a void. Chasm yawned, revealing a single, molten, eye-green, unblinking, radiating the devil's malice. Theo's breath seized, limbs frozen as its gaze shredded his sanity. Tentacles of shadow and steel writhed in the steam, grinding Ik Cthulhu. He saw only darkness, a mechanized abyss pulling him under. The scarab scuttled toward him, its barbed legs piercing his wrist. The oscilloscope's coils sparked, its cylinder jamming. Gideon's chant surged. Ik, Guanagol Fatan, Gu, gasped, a hymn to bind the devil's forge lest it rise. Steam thickened, choking the air. The chasm sealed. The eye vanished. Silence fell, heavy as iron. Theo awoke in a steam-lit foundry chamber, its walls lined with hissing valves and glowing cogs. His body ached, his mind a fog of fractured horrors. The Cthulhumech, the whispers, the devil's gaze. His oscilloscope, dented, lay beside him. Gideon handed him a phonograph cylinder, etched with tentacle runes. "The veil holds," he whispered. "But this captured you." The cylinder hissed. Then his voice fractured, metallic emerged. Ik, froze. The oscilloscope's gears ticked faintly, trembling. Each hiss vibrated through his bones, pulling his mind to the black forge's glow. Fear warred with an insatiable urge to rebuild the machine. He stood, unsteady, drawn to the abyss. The chamber's iron door creaked open. Smog curled within, thick with the stench of oil, grinding like a devil's engine. Beyond something ancient stirred mechanical, malevolent, inevitable, Theo stepped forward, the cylinder's hiss echoing. "Each pulse binds me to Cthulhu's forge." The foundry fell silent, its smokestacks exhaling into the night. Hope you all loved that last story, The Devil's Cog. If you did, smash that like button. I'd really love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What did you think? What was your favorite part? And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe.